So before I drill the holes, what I'm gonna try and do is angle this kind of like this so it suits your ass a little bit better. I only got 80 grit and I got no other tools to do this with, so I might be sanding away here for a while. So while I was doing that, I thought of something that I want to do. I just want to take off a tiny bit out of the corners. So I will do that. That's how I So if I take off an inch, we're going to start with an inch to see how that looks. Just to kind of round off the corners there, so they're not so pointy. No, round off the other. I'm also going to make that'll work. Just to let you guys know, I'm not recommending this at all because it's not safe. Look at that. That looks lovely. Now I will hang it over the edge so I can sand these areas. And then when I clamp it down, what I will do is I will use a piece of wood to clamp it down so I don't damage this. Flip everything over, adjust the clamp. When you use a nice wide piece of wood when you're clamping, it makes a much larger footprint for the clamp so you don't get any denting. Now I will do the same I might just so for this one, I'll just use a smaller piece of wood, and I'll just be careful not to clamp it too tight. That should be a big enough piece of wood anyways. I'm gonna bring it back somewhat far. Okay, that'll be good. Tidy this up, I'll get what I can, and then I'll flip it. That looks pretty good, nice and rounded. Now I'm going to do the opposite side. Keep in mind, I am starting with 80 grit, and I'm going to progress up to 120. And I believe I also have higher than that. I also have 180, which I'm going to finish it off with a nice smooth grit. Okay, so before we sand the back, we're going to drill the holes. And we're going to drill the holes before we graduate with the sandpaper too. So, get the drill, get a bit. Okay, so here we go. Unfortunately, I don't have a variable speed drill right now. So, full speed ahead. I'm using a small bit because I'm going to come through the other side with a countersink bit. So I just want to see where it's going to be so I can translate the holes through the other side. Like that. Okay, so these are basically the screws that we're using, maybe not that size. And this is the countersink bit that we're using. Same diameter as the screw. And the reason is we're only drilling through this, so there doesn't need to be threads tightening in this. We want it to be loose. So put this bit in the drill, and we'll drill those out, and we will check the depth. We're probably going to go a bit deeper, and then I'm probably going to maybe fill it with some wood filler. Okay, so yeah, instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a drill bit the same size as this, and I'm going to drill a hole. Reason being is if you see the size of this countersink, that's good if you want to flush mount the screw. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bury the screws and cover them with wood filler. So yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, so I got a good bit here. Now I'm going to drill just enough that I can get a decent enough piece of wood filler in there that's not going to fall out. So now we're going to finish sanding our off. from this square edges to this nice round, and I'm gonna do this to all the legs and then go through the graduation process with the 120 then the 180. Okay, so everything's been sanded with 180, and now we're gonna get to the next part, which is the slats around. So to do that, we need the first screw put in these legs. So I gotta drill out a slightly larger hole, and then we can screw in one of the legs, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna put 2 of these in for now, and lift it off a bit, and put some wood glue under there, and then tighten her down. I'm going to be using Gorilla Glue. Okay, put that in, letting gravity pull it around. It'll tighten her up. I shall continue and put on the other legs. Okay, so with the first 2 legs on, what I'm gonna do, just for some extra, I'm gonna use the countersink bit and drill diagonally, and we're gonna put a screw back here from the back of the legs into here. Reason being is because there's gonna be a piece of pine right here, and it's gonna hide the screw, so you'll never see it. Just make sure you use a proper size screw that you don't have to worry about it going through, because that would be a big pain in the ass after all the work we did.